What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? It is Thursday. Welcome to Thursday. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Just your average Joe in the garage for another one. The last one was crazy, but hopefully we get back to normal now. You know what I mean? But hopefully your sales are going well. I had seven sales. I don't remember how many. I think I had 7 sales for not a ton, 183.65. So didn't quite hit goal, but we'll go over sales here shortly. We got a lot of comments to cover again today. So if you haven't hung out with me, again, my name is Joe, just your average Joe. I've been reselling full time for like 8-ish years, but buying and selling on eBay since 2000. So a long time. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you subscribe if you enjoy anything that you see or hear, or if I drop any nuggets along the way to help you along your journey. That's amazing. That's what this is about. So let's go ahead and dive in because we have a bunch of comments to go over again, which is crazy. A couple things to cover. I did. Let me show you guys real quick. Actually, let me show you this. This hasn't been the case in a while, so I got to show it off here. So I have I got a little Rock Band 360 that I just tested last night. So that's going up today. But if you remember correctly, my processing table is clear. It's all clear. Nothing's here. I mean, I got a bunch of Christmas stuff over here that we got to put up for Christmas. But so this is a little bit in the way right now. But it's outside of my game pile, my cartridge game pile, which that probably won't leave for a while. I probably won't tackle that for a long time because as I think who was it? The picky picker said that's a cash pile, not a death pile. So she's right. It's all the good games, like Mario. Like let me show you real quick. This is all the good stuff. This is all the good stuff. I don't want to drop anything. It's all good titles. Just like $15-ish titles. What else we got here? 007. Oh man, I messed this stuff up. Diddy. Command and Conquer, which believe it or not, is like $15. Battle Tank's like $15. Perfect Dark, another Star Fox, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Wrestling, which I think that one's like $15. Racing's like $15. Revenge is not. I think Revenge is only like 10. Another Revenge. I think that's why I left Revenge in here. I had like three copies. I had like 3 copies, so I kept them in here. Forsaken, I think is only like $10. So just, $15-ish titles, give or take. No Mercy, another 007, Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat, Snap, whatever racing one that was, another Diddy. So you get an idea. It's not really filler games. Diddy Kong Racing, another Mario Kart, another 007, another Diddy. Believe it or not, Xena is like a $15 game. Turok, what is that? Another and then there's another stack down. Oh, there's 2 of these down here. Two of these down here. I'll grab one of them. There's 2 of these floating down here. so yeah, this is another Zelda. I think there's 2 more Zeldas. Yeah, there's another one there. Anyway, so it's the better games. It's the better games for sure. I've already filtered through all the quote unquote filler stuff, and it's pretty much $15-ish and above on most of it. So anyway, that's been sitting there. If y'all been with me for a while, that's been sitting there a long time. But I'm proud to say that my processing table is clear. All these bins are empty except for my personal collection, which starts here. So this bin, and the bottom bin are personal collection stuff that I, like that Sega CD that I showed you guys that was on the processing table last time. That's been cleaned, processed, tested. It did work. It's got a little clicking noise when it loads and feeds, but and I've done research and I figured out that it's one of the gears, but it loads, it works. I went down the rabbit hole of trying to find the part to fix it, but like you have to have it 3D printed because nobody sells the part, which is crazy. But not a ton of support on Sega CD stuff, but kind of excited that this is all clear. So this This is all clear, and and yeah. So these bins were full of clothes. In fact, all 4 of these bins were full of clothes. Now they're empty, ready for a new round of clothes to fill them up. I'm sure is what's going to happen. I'm going to try to stay on top of clothes this time, though, and not fill up these bins. But they are here in the event I do need to use them. They are available and are clear and empty. And I do have one pile in the house full of one pile of clothes in the house. Then my plan is to get to it today or tomorrow. And I've got all those systems upstairs that have been cleaned, processed, and as mentioned yesterday, tested, tinkered with, fixed, zip tied, bundled up, and ready to go. So I just got to take a bunch of pictures and put them in the white boxes, and I've got some room, which is nice, and get those down here and out of my bonus room because it's just full of fucking games right now. So my upstairs looks like a video game store threw up on it. But otherwise, I'm back to, for the most part, caught up. Now today, this morning I did a pickup. I got to take a picture of the Rock Band thing because I went ahead and tested this out last night, made sure it works. So the whole Rock Band set up for 360. It does. One of the drums is a little loose on it, but I tested it out yesterday and it all works. So that's good. So that's taking. Once I get off of here, I'm going to take pictures of this and get this up because it's like $300 just sitting here. I picked it up for $20 for the whole deal. I bought Rock Band for it for $10. And I bought a quick disconnect cable, breakaway cable, because the guitar was missing one. So I picked that up for like $7. So I'm in for like, I don't know, $40, we'll call it. So I should be able to get $250, $300, maybe even $350 out of it. I'm going to list it for $349.99 free shipping, and we'll see what happens. Shipping usually is about $40-ish. I've shipped several of these out. Nice thing is it breaks down. People are scared to ship big stuff, but this thing all breaks down basically. So you do need a decent sized box, which I have, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad to get this thing packed up. Anyway, outside of that, yeah, that's kind of the plan today, Stan. It's raining, as you see. It's a dreary, nasty day out today. So cold too. It's cold. One of our colder days so far. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the comments, but that's what I got going on. Processing table is done, ready for yard sales. What I was mentioning is I did do a marketplace pickup this morning for 2 PlayStation 1s with controllers, wires, the hookups and everything, and controllers. $60 for the pair. A little higher than I wanted to spend, to be honest with you, but normally a PS1 bundle with like 6-7, which the reason I did it is I picked up another bundle of games a few days ago. I don't think I told you guys about this one or mentioned it, but it had like 15 PS1 games in it. So they were all in pretty good condition. Most of them were not put them on eBay by themselves. Most of them were all filler titles. So I happened to see this bundle of 2 PlayStations. I was like, well, I just got a bunch of games. That's perfect. I can marry them together in bundles. Typically a bundle, PS1 with 1 controller, memory card, 6 to 8 games. Typically I sell those for about 100 and I put it up for 120. It may sell for usually around $90 to $100. So I figured to myself, if I can get $100 a pop on them, that's $200. I'm in for 60. That's a good way to get rid of those filler games because otherwise they're just going to sit. And there you go. So there's that. So I would have liked to pay like 40 to 50 for the pair. Now, granted, I haven't tested them. They look clean, but I have not tested them, so I'm not 100% that they work. The guy said they do power on, but he wasn't able to test a game in them because he didn't have any games. They looked pretty clean. The nice thing is if they do, obviously if I can make 130, 120 after fees or so, if I do have to replace one of the drives, if I try isopropyl alcohol, always try that first. Isopropyl alcohol on the lens if it doesn't load discs. But if for some reason it even after that it still doesn't read discs, a PS1 replacement laser assembly is like $20-ish. So if I have to replace both, I'm still 100-ish or so up, 80 to 100 up if I have to replace both of them. Yeah, again, not the best pickup in the world, but assuming they both work, not a bad pickup. If they both don't work, then it's not terrible, but it's it is what it is. I'm still going to make $1 and $80-ish, but and that's after fees, give or take. So, and that's after purchasing the 2 drives if I have to buy them. So because like I said, they're like 20-ish bucks a piece, and they're super easy to replace. They literally just it sits on there. The plastic holds it down, the cover, and then it's just a ribbon cable. If I remember correctly, it's just 1, maybe 2 ribbon cables, and that's it. Super simple. Swap, get it in, get it out. No firmware, software to deal with or anything like that. Super simple. So anyway, that's what I got going on. That's my update. Oh, also another quick update. A game I bought back in August that got lost in transit in September that the seller ended up giving me my money back on is delivering today. I just got a notification this morning about it is delivering today. We're talking 2 months, September, October, November, 2 months after the fact. And that's really 3 months after the fact because I bought it back in August, September, October, November. Yeah, I bought it back in August. And so, obviously the guy had to do a refund because eBay, I put a case in that I never received the item. And, we gave it a month basically and it never showed up and it just was stuck somewhere since September like 17th or 12th or something like that. Early to mid September, it was just stuck in transit and never moved. And we had given it like a month because I bought it like early August. So of course, just like I would have done, I would have issued the refund and, sorry for the trouble and keep it moving. There's nothing you can do there. And then I would have filed a claim with the post office to get my money back, which I'm hopefully that's what he did. But lo and behold, 2 months later now, it's going to show up. Supposedly it's showing up. I got an email saying it's coming out. It's being delivered today. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Post office, man, do better. So there's that. So I still have the disc for this particular because I bought it. It was a manual and case is all it is for a game Modalista, a racing game. I think it's called Modalista. Pretty rare PS2 game, racing game. It goes for about 30-40 bucks complete. I had the disc and I was keeping it for myself. So I was like, well, I want to complete the bundle. So let me buy the case and the manual. Somebody happened to have it up. So I went ahead and bought it from them. And I just never, so then I ended up just buying the whole game itself, the game, because there wasn't another one up. So then I just bought the game and the manual and the case after I got the refund for that one. And then I put the extra game disc up on eBay for just disc only for 25 bucks. I think it is. It's been sitting for maybe a month and a half now. It's had a couple watchers on it, but nobody's bought it yet. And so I just removed that listing since that's going to deliver today. And then I'll marry them two together since I already have my copy and mine's complete in box and in my collection now. So I'll just marry them two together, put it up for $39.99 and we'll see what happens. So there's that. Anyway, let's get the comments because we got quite a few comments. Hopefully, we nothing crazy like yesterday, so that's good. But let's get through comments. I do proofread some of the comments before we get to them. So, Farsack Jack says, "BS, go live." Okay, look, I got you, Farsack Jack. It's coming. It's coming. Let me reply to you real quick. Appreciate you commenting as always, Farsack Jack. I feel like you're always the first one to jump in to tell me to go live now, which I think is hilarious. But I appreciate your support. Winston's got a few comments here. Winston says, yeah, Joe, that's a good policy. I definitely don't expect you to pay a lot for people's stuff at garage sales, especially when you don't even know if the stuff is works or if it's fully functional or full condition. You hit on it, man. You deserve good karma. Sadly, I don't think karma really exists since seen too many sleaze bags get ahead. Be well, Joe. You're right. You're right there, man. That's facts. Yeah, but I do believe in karma. But it does. Douchebags do get ahead too, which sucks because they fuck people over. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Winston also says, yeah, that's cool. You have new ones too, like me. As a final double down, I'm certainly with you on reusing those padded envelopes if they aren't mangled, and naturally I reuse the boxes too. Boxes even more expensive and harder to come by. You know it. Big ups, Joe. Yeah, my family and friends know to hold boxes for me because I resell and I can always use boxes. So yeah, boxes. I reuse boxes too. I ain't no shame in my game. I mean, I do have some that I buy, not many, but like a specialty size, like these smaller ones, because I always have a hard time coming across smaller boxes. So I do have the little 8x6x6, I think these are. I don't use a ton of them, but I did buy some of those. But yeah, like the Cottonelle white boxes I was talking about yesterday and some of these other smaller Amazon boxes. And then My mother-in-law does Chewy, the dog food brand, and she gets some of the big boxes and some of the smaller boxes. So I get those from her because those are pretty solid. Yeah, there's no shame in my game reusing. Great point about the $1,700 Louis Vuitton purse. Commenter Joe. Yeah, well, that was the same guy, Nick, that's been dogging me about reusing stuff. He chimed in a few times about reusing stuff, and then he had to make that example. So that was like, that don't make no sense, man. Anyway, Nick, hopefully you're watching, and if not, oh well. I mean, sorry. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine. But I'm going to certainly come back and fire back at you. I agree 100%. Winston also says, I agree 100% with your sentiments in the last video. You do you, sir. Agreeing and disagree is the most effective course. Appreciate your diplomacy when addressing your community, sir. Hey, it's true, man. You got to, we're not all going to agree on stuff, but that's okay. You don't have to be a kind of a douchebag when you come at me about stuff and how I'm doing everything 100%. I mean, you're 100% wrong. Like, nah, that's your opinion. I mean, there's an easier way. You can come at me a little different. You know what I mean? And I know the internet, people take things different ways because it's coming through in the comments. So you can take things, it may not have been meant to be kind of, I don't know, whatever, not mean, but it came across being kind of douchebaggy. So I fire back being a douchebag too. Anyway, let's keep moving. Craig says you really don't need measurements for made in America, but countries like China can be up to 2 sizes smaller than the label says. Craig, I appreciate you commenting and thank you for that tidbit. Hey, I'm with you, man. No measurements. Somebody else hit something great. When I get to that comment, I'm going to be like, see, that's another reason. We'll get there. Craig also says reusing shipping materials is all good as long as it's clean and does the job. 100%. It doesn't affect, or it's so minimal that it affects like Nick thinks, your business. Doesn't, man. It really doesn't. But that's fine. I mean, and if it does, it's like less than 1%. I mean, it's so minute that the type of packing, and again, I don't want to get into all that again. So anyway, but we're Craig, appreciate you, man. Thank you. The Dark 25 says, oh my God, I'm in tears laughing at your Louis Vuitton reply. Thanks for the laugh. Just your average Joe. Just Joey Vuitton. Keep up on packaging using $500 materials. Oh, the Dark 25 Twitch. You're awesome. Thank you, sir. Great comment. The Joey Vuitton over here. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, Jesus says, keep killing it, average Joe. Let the experiment begin. Clothing with measurements and clothing without measurements. We shall see what sells faster. Get going, average Joe. Now, hey, you know what? Jesus, thank you for commenting. And I thought about that. I really don't want to do it. I don't think I am. However, if I do it, I think it'd be more effective for me to do it on clothes that I've already had up for a while. Because then if they sell after I do measurements, then that's a good indicator. Because if I put new clothes up and do measurements, some of those new clothes may have sold with or without measurements. You know what I mean? Like I got a pair of chaps, Harley Davidson chaps. Those are going to sell without measurements, 100%. I sell those anytime I pick those up. They sell usually pretty quick. Within a month, few weeks of putting them up, they sell. But what would be a better indicator of whether that's a good way to go or not is to actually put measurements on some of my old listings that have been up already without measurements, that they've been up for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever. Take those down, do the measurements, repost them, and see if they sell any quicker or if they just still sit. That I think would be a better indicator of whether adding measurements is more effective or not versus doing it on new clothes. But I still don't think I'm going to do that either, to be honest with you. I know I said it, but I don't feel like doing it, man. I got enough other stuff to be dealing with than to go back on all these old listings and adding measurements and blah blah blah. Like, for example, in fact, now I'm glad I said this because this is something I've been meaning to do for quite a long time, and I took all the listings down for these. Remember a while back, this goes back to, I've sold through as many of these individually as I could, or bundles and lots that I could. Like The Rock has like 4, Undertaker's got like 4, Kane has like 6, but they're not selling. So John Cena's got like 4, so they're not selling. They haven't sold. I've had them on sale. I've had them on discount. I've had these mofos up for probably a year and a half at least. And the ones that I had up in bundles and or individuals that sold, I've made my money back. I'm already in the green. These are all the extras that just been sitting and sitting, and it's not because they were priced too high. I mean, a pack of 4 was like $15, so like $4 a piece. Like, and it was like the good ones, like not the good ones, but like your bigger Wrestle the Rock, for example. There's like 4 of his up for like 15 plus shipping. Well, it boils down to like $5 a character. I mean, you can't really get better than that, and nobody's sniffing on it. So my plan. I took all of the listings down. There's probably 11 listings or 12 listings of these, whether they're lots or individual. And I'm going to put all of these in one lot. I'm going to put them out on my table in my kitchen, and I'm just going to take a picture of all of them, close up, far away, the whole bundle, do the whole lot for like, I don't know, $49.99, and get all these shits out of here because they've been sitting too long. And I know I've mentioned it before to you guys, but it's just a bunch of the Jax wrestlers. And if I don't get it out and I don't remember, then it's going to continue to sit. So those are, and on top of that, I had, let me find, I hate DVDs. I don't really mess with DVDs much, but I do have some. But I believe, let me move this out the way. I believe I've also got 2 wrestling DVDs. There they are. There's one. And that's Transformers. I thought there was 2. Well, I know I had 2 at one point. That's one. Oh, there's that HP thing that I've been. All right, so there's that Yu-Gi-Oh. So this is all a lot of sealed, like Spider-Man and stuff like that. Sealed VHSs of Star Wars that I thought, hey, that'd be something. Let's pick those up. Sealed HP thing. That's trash. I already took that listing down a long time ago. Sealed Seinfeld. That nobody ever touched that either. I thought I had 2 of these. I guess I only had 1. Oh, no, right here. So these I'm going to take to the thrift store and have my wife put in the thrift store. They're wrestling DVDs, and nobody's sniffing at them. Nobody's messing with them. So I'm just going to, since I took all the wrestling stuff down, I was like, well, let me go ahead and just take those down too. Might as well do that too. So, but like sealed Tigger, sealed Batman, some sealed anime, like, you know, you pick them up for 50 cents a dollar, take shots on it, but they just sit, man. They just sit. This is a bundle of DVD, Blu-rays of just horror movies. I saw somebody on YouTube one time say, "Oh, bundle your the horror movies and bundle." I got a whole bundle here of a whole bundle of like Marvel superhero movies. Yeah, they're just sitting. Don't believe them. I don't know. I can't get rid of them. But maybe eventually they'll sell. But I know I'm not picking them up anymore. So anyway, there's that. So let's see. The Dark 25 Stitch. This is the comment that I was like, man, I should have thought about that yesterday. I don't do measurements just like Amazon. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Does Amazon? Does Walmart? I don't know. I don't. What websites? What big box stores actually put measurements? I know Fanatics doesn't either because I buy stuff from Fanatics occasionally. What big box stores put measurements in their online clothing stuff? None that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there probably is 1 or 2, maybe not. I don't know, but Amazon certainly doesn't. Walmart, Fanatics, I can speak upon firsthand experience. So I'm not putting measurements on there. If it's a large, it's a large. If it's extra large, it's extra large. We're gonna keep it moving. You do you and keep adding measurements. I'm gonna do me, and we can agree to disagree. But good point. The Dark 25 Twitch, I love it. I also hate clothes, but they do sell minus the measurements, just like on Amazon. I love it, man. I love it. That's. I should have thought about that yesterday. Exactly. This video is funny. I'm glad y'all. Several of y'all said the video was a good one, so I'm glad it was. I'm glad. Rodney, I think is new, possibly. Rodney, appreciate you hanging out and commenting. Rodney says, "Hey, boss, how would you handle a package weight adjustment charge from FedEx that's bogus? They said the package was 13 pounds, but it was 5. Those jokers hit me with an additional $37. Thanks." Rodney, it's funny. I've had that issue as well. back in like June, and I tried to go back in my messages to see exactly what item it was, and if I remember correctly, what I did, I know I called eBay and I escalated or spoke to, I forget if they transferred me to somebody, I want to say, that handles like the shipping labels and shipping and things like that. They did transfer me to somebody else. So I called General Care. Then they got me to somebody to discuss the labels and stuff. If I remember correctly, they did submit like an adjustment request because I was able to prove that it was the weight that I said it was, or the dimensions or something. I can't remember the details of the situation and exactly how it played out. But I believe I got my money back, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they refunded the difference, maybe. I can't remember. But I would at least call eBay if you can prove that it was what you have it versus what FedEx has it. Then the best you can do is call and go from there. So that's what I did. I wish I could remember the details, and my messages stopped in July, and I was like, damn, that should happen in June. Excuse me. So, yeah, I have had it happen. It sucks. Luckily, it doesn't happen often. But if you can prove it, then call eBay with the proof. And then, like I said, I think there was a secondary team that they transferred me to that did that handles like labels and things like that. And that's who I discussed it with. And like I said, I think they gave me the credit back for the difference, but I can't remember. Or they put the dispute in for it. And then I think later on I got a credit for it or something. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but I could be wrong. It's a little gray and fuzzy from back. I mean, back in June. I don't remember. I can't remember half the shit I did yesterday. Happen most of the time. But I would at least call and go from there because I have had that exact situation happen. So I would give them a call. So Rodney, hopefully you get that fixed, or at least get a dispute in. Whether you get a refund for it or not, that's a whole nother ball game. But I believe I did get a refund from eBay. They couldn't give me a credit, but they put the dispute in. And then like later on, I believe I got an email or notification saying they did refund the account or something. Again, don't quote me. But anyway, hopefully, keep me up to date on that. I'd like to know how it shakes out, but I would certainly start by calling and going from there. Winston Wolf says, UPS just got my business. So let me reply to you. Rodney, hopefully you subscribed, and appreciate you hanging out and commenting. And let's see, Demirius, what's up, Demirius? How you doing? Hey, Joe, I think the comment that you received about reusing bubble mailer or any kind of shipping materials, bullshit. You just smile on my face. I've never heard of anyone losing customers because of reused shipping materials. That's crazy. I just wanted to chime in on that. Demetrius, you know what? We're here, man. We're here. We're here, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for chiming in. Look, I'm right there with you. I think it's ludicrous that anybody would honestly even, think that that's, even if it could happen or it does happen, it's so minusculely small set of folks that would feel that way that it's not even worth discussing. Like, I can't even, we're still talking about it, but yeah. But Nick thinks it's 100% we're wrong, and 100% it affects your business, and 100% people feel that way about it, as his stands on it. And that's fine. He can think that way. That's okay. He also, never mind. I'm not going back to that. Ringo the Dingo says, hey, you tell him, Joe. Hey, I appreciate you, Ringo the Dingo. Thank you again for commenting and hanging out once again. Yeah, that video was lit. Apparently, you guys enjoyed that one. I got quite a few comments from you guys. Tahoe Realm says, Joe, look, like to order. This is a good one. I like this one. Joe, I'd like to order a video game, but can you measure the diameter and radius of the disc? I also need the diameter and radius of the inside spindle hole. I hate to be a pain, but I also need the disc weight because I don't want it to damage my machine. And finally, if it's not too much trouble, can you give me the thickness of the disc in millimeters? I appreciate you going the extra mile for this $10 game. I'm a very serious buyer. That tickled me when I read that. Tahoe Realm, I just smiled and laughed when I read that the first time last night. Great comment. I love it. Yes. That's yes. Home run on that. I love it. Phantom says, he also says home run. That's a bang. That's where I just got home run from, because I saw that. But yeah, home run. That's a banger deal. Congratulations on the sale. Great video. Keep raw. Keep it the real Joe. And the $1,700 Louis Vuitton purse buyer. Shake my head. This guy. Did not realize we blew up the chat with bubble wrap and mailer discussions. Happy to see we can all agree to disagree. Well, some trolls out there still sipping the Kool-Aid. I love the average Joe regardless. Well, Phantom, thank you, sir. Look, I'm just your average dude, and I, we ain't Louis Vuitton around here. You know what I mean? But Nick gave us a good thing to go. I love it, man. I love it. That's thank you, Nick. We're still talking about you. You probably already unsubscribed and left and never watched me again, and that's okay. We're still having laughs. And it's all lighthearted. It's all in fun. It's all fine. But LLWN 2E2322Z says, nice video from the UK. Do you, first of all, thank you for commenting. Thank you for hanging out, and hopefully you subscribed. I see we jumped over 670. We're at like 672. So thank you all for subscribing. Do you sell mainly video games, etc., or everything seller? My niche is video games now. I don't know if I'll always be niched into video games at this point, but because I'm collecting them, I've niched myself into them. But I sell. I know a little about a lot. So like I've got clothes, I've got DVDs and comics. They don't really do well, so I won't recommend those. But I do have them sitting here. Bose electronics, purses, old toys. It's Legos, Hot Wheels stuff, old train sets, hats. What else we got around here? That's plush, backpacks, video cameras and video camcorders. Another thing of Bose anything. I'll usually pick up shoes, boots, army stuff. Cast iron, Wagner, and I know I'm missing the big one. Lodge, Wagner, and there's another one. But anyway, I got a Singer sewing machine, Netgear routers, so more electronics, some glassware. I don't typically like to mess with glassware much, but I will pick it up occasionally. More army stuff. Yeah, so that's a little. I'm kind of all over the place. Little toys and. So some little toys, not much, but yeah. So just to give you an idea, kind of walking through my shelf, my shelves, what I have. But yeah. So Leatherman pocket knives, Leatherman multi tools. Anyway, a lot of different things I will pick up for sure. But my niche is video games. That's why I enjoy picking up mostly. But yeah. So hopefully you enjoy the channel, and welcome LWN. So Yarina says, wow, that was a great sale, great deal. And another note, I just laughed too hard in the last video. The Louis Vuitton comparison was too much. The whole comment section was too much. Hilarious, says Yarina. Hey, I'm gonna thank Nick on that one, man. Nick helped us make it funny, because if he didn't put that comment in there, I wouldn't have had no material. So thank you, Nick. We're just gonna keep thanking Nick. Nick, you're the man. Hey, Zeus says, well, let's see. Well, that was an hour of craziness. I had to pull over to the side of the road. I was laughing so freaking much. Gotta love Average Joe. Hey Zeus, thank you again. Yeah, it was. I didn't watch it back. Some videos I'll watch back. That one I didn't watch back. I probably should. But I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm glad you liked it. Mark says, yeah, I learned the hard way with it too. Cracked some of the expensive GameCubes with it too. Did you? So I'm not the only one, Mark. That makes me feel a little better. I'm sorry that you went through the same experience, because it sucks to go through. So he's talking about the JFJ disc resurfacer. It does a good job on PS1, PS2, Xbox 360, your old school DVD type game. So OG Xbox, Wii, you would think GameCube, but it does have an adapter for the GameCube. It's got a little like a metal disc and then it's got an adapter that you swap out for GameCube. In my experience, like Mark, so I'm glad Mark, I'm not the only one. The GameCube one will, and at least in my experience, probably 50-50 shot that it's going to crack the outside of your disc, which is crazy. I'm not sure why it does that. They do have great support. I've had to call JFJ, and I've talked to the dude in support, and he did help me on a few things. So they do have great support. I just don't feel like calling and asking about that, because I get so few GameCube games that I don't really use the GameCube adapter much, or have used it much. And so I haven't had the need to really call them to ask why it's doing this. But I'm sure if I did, they would give me a reason and they would be able to help me, hopefully, with it. But I just haven't had to. So I will say they do have great support. I just haven't been motivated enough to call them. But I'm glad, like I said, Mark, that I'm not the only one. But I'm sorry that you had the same experience, because it does suck to lose some high dollar. I remember the Zelda was the one that I was like, fuck. And then Mario Paint, I was like, no. And then I was like, why is it doing this? And then, so, because it's hit and miss. Some do and some don't. I don't know why. I will say what I have done, Mark, is, the JFJ has the pad for the GameCube, and then it's got the disc for the GameCube. Well, what I've done is I have a pad that's the regular pad for all the regular games, the buffing pad, and I don't even swap out the disc, or the metal disc. I just put the GameCube game in there, and it does a pretty decent job, and it's not cracking them. So that's how I've done my GameCube. If I need to do a GameCube game, that's what I do now, is keep the regular disc on there, put the GameCube game on there, and I've got a pad that's because it eats away at the pad, and so it's that pad is for what I use now for the GameCube games, because it's eaten up just right at that level, at the size of a GameCube game. If you don't have one, you probably are like, what is he talking about? But I think Mark kind of might be following me. So that pad is for the GameCube games, and I don't swap out the metal disc anymore. And that seems to help, and it's not cracking them. And it kind of pretty much still does the job. So that's what I've done, and that's what I'm doing. And however, I will say I went to the pawn shop from yesterday's video and had them resurface 2 GameCube games and 5 other games of mine that I had that I've just been waiting to, that are just too far gone. They were too far gone for the JFJ. And I don't want to sand on the JFJ anymore. So, so I went there and they resurfaced them, and they do have that nicer, it's not the big tall machine, but it's the one that sits on the countertop. That's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's a nice one. And they came out pretty much mirror finish. So I just got to test them, and hopefully they'll fire up. If they don't, I wasted $18, but I mean, it is what it is, $18. Hopefully if 1 or 2 work, it's worth it. They weren't worth anything being in the condition they were in anyway. So there's that. But anyway, Mark, thank you for commenting and letting me know. I appreciate that. Overall, the JFJ is not bad though. But again, like if you try to do like PS3, like Blu-ray type games, doesn't really do a good job. I've tried to do some Blu-ray type games that won't load right. I will say the nice thing is Blu-ray games like your PS3, PS4, PS5, Wii U, what am I missing? Xbox One at Series X, all those Blu-ray style discs, they don't scratch very easy, which is good. But they don't really work well in the JFJ. So all those type games, but again, the good thing is they don't really scratch much. I don't normally come across many of those Blu-ray style games that have a bunch of scratches on them. So that's the good thing there. And they pretty much 99% of the time fire up and work no problem. Even if there is a little bit of scratching on them, they still end up firing up. The older DVD style games are the ones that'll scratch to hell and are more sensitive and obviously can, super deep scratches. The material they use on those Blu-ray style games is just a different material, and it just doesn't scratch like the older discs do. So if you don't do video gaming, you're probably like, who cares, Joe? And I get it. But for those that do video games, the JFJ does a really good job on the DVD style games, in my opinion. Doesn't leave the swirl marks, gets a lot of the light to mid scratches out. You can always try to go sanding if those heavy scratches and go sanding. And again, that's always hit and miss at that point. So anyway, that's all for comments. I believe that's it. Let me refresh real quick, make sure we had nothing else pop through, and we have not. So let's go over these 7 sales, and then that's all I got for you guys today. We'll keep this one a little shorter than the last 2 have been. So again, let me see my mail lady over there. No, we had 7 sales for $183.65. Not great, but not terrible. Still moving some stuff. Moved some older items, which is nice, and some newer items. First thing that sold was a Western Digital. I think that's it, right? No, that's not it. Western Digital hard drive. Western Digital hard drive, 1 terabyte external, sold for $32. $32 plus shipping. It's got the cord with it, so $32 plus shipping. I just gotta counter. Oh, that's a counter offer on something. Next thing that sold was Croc. Croc on PS. Croc on PS1 sold for $13. I think free shipping possibly. Oh no, $13 plus shipping. So Croc, $13 plus shipping on this one. Let's just make sure. Oh yeah, she's minty mint. She's nice. So there's that. All right, so Croc sold for $13 plus shipping. Walking Dead on Xbox. I am dwindling down on Xbox games. Normally I got a bunch, but I am dwindling down. Let's see. Walking Dead. Here we go. So this one sold nothing crazy. Walking Dead, it caught up on a sale. It was $9.99, but it's on sale. So there's that. Walking Dead. $9 free shipping. $9 free shipping on that one. Nothing crazy. This lipstick I picked up. Man, I picked this up like last yard sale season, I think it was. This has been sitting here for a minute. Oh, let me ask my lady if she can come back. Hold on. Hey, coming back? Make sure the mic still works. What I get in the mail? This is that game I was talking about. I think my mic still works. It's still green, so I'm assuming we're still good. This is the game we were talking about. But this lipstick sold for. Let me show you the game I was talking about. This finally showed up, man. Wild. 3 months after I ordered it. Yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully the guy got his money back from the post office. Hopefully he did a claim with the post office because it certainly would have been approved. I know, after they do make you wait like 60 days or something like that before they issue out a refund for like missing. But it's been well over that. We're talking 3 months, a solid 3 months at this point. So hopefully he had a claim in and got paid out for it because I know I would have. But yeah, craziness. Modelista. So now I've got the case manual and the game, so I can put that up on eBay because I already have one for myself. And there's that. So I'll put this over here for later. So this lipstick sold for I've had this stuff for probably a year and a half-ish, maybe. Yeah, give or take. But it's what I have it listed. Wet and Wild Kuromi Liquid Mattel Lip Color. Anyway, it's a lot of 4. Sold for $28 plus shipping. I've had these things forever. Next thing that sold was a Carhartt. Did I hang the Carhartt? No, it should be in here. I think it's in here. Oh no, all the Carhartt stuff is over in that other bin. That's right. Give me a moment. One moment. Carhartt. All the Carhartt stuff's over here in this bin. I kept everything together, so make it easier for me. So there's that. So Carhartt hoodie sold for $40 plus shipping. If I remember correctly, I picked this up for, I believe, $1, to be honest with you, because I think this is off from that same sale that the lady had all the Carhartt stuff. Well, she had her whole garage, her whole driveway was closed, just closed on a tarp galore. And there was a huge pile of just Carhartt stuff, and she was like $1. Everything's $1. Everything. So I picked up t-shirts, hoodies. There was another hoodie, bunch of t-shirts, khaki shorts. Picked up all of it. It's been sitting in the bin since like March, but finally got it all up last week, and here we go. Finally getting my first sale out of that stuff. I think I spent $17 because there were 17 pieces. This sold for 40. And there's a good amount more. And now I imagine the t-shirts may not sell till spring, which is fine. But there's another hoodie which hopefully will sell here. You know, it's getting cold, so hopefully that hoodie sells. And a couple long sleeve shirts, so hopefully those will sell now that it's wintertime. So good timing on getting that stuff up. Two more things that sold. Far Cry PS3. Nothing crazy. Another like little $10 nothing, $9 plus shipping. Got caught up on a sale. Beautiful, beautiful mint disc. Far Cry, $9, free shipping. And then Injustice. Injustice for a lot of older games I've had up for a while. Injustice. Was there a crack in that? No. Okay. Injustice sold for another $10 free shipping on that one. So, or well, $9.89. So there you go. So there's that. Nothing crazy. That's all that sold between yesterday and today. $189 and change. That's before fees and shipping. So that's all we got. I'll probably, 150-ish, 160-ish, something like that. So not quite hit goal, but still not a terrible day. I can handle it. I don't like it, but after a big day yesterday, I'll take it. So hopefully we can start getting some more sales. I still haven't stopped my marketing promo and sales discount. My plan is to stop those and then relaunch them. Hopefully get some boost and some more eyeballs on stuff, because it seems like the marketing promos, after a while, your viewership and your clicks start going down. And I don't really understand why. And then when you end it and relaunch it, you see it spike up again. So I don't really understand that. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully your sales are going well. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Thursday. Football tonight. Woo! And yeah, see y'all tomorrow. Later, everybody.